Those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Amp2.tv presents Tell Us Your Business, where you're invited on the air to tell us what makes your business stand out in the community. It's important we hear from you to tell us all we need to know about what you do best. Tell Us Your Business uses the latest radio and television production systems, and all shows can be seen on amp2.tv. If you have a question for our guest, call 888-565-1470. Now, let's get ready as our guest hits the airwaves and informs us about what we need to know on Tell Us Your Business.
Good evening and welcome to Tell Us Your Biz. I am your host, Rebecca Caston, and I am a National Board Certified Health and Wellness Coach. So what's a coach? So a health and wellness coach is someone who is on your team. I am a collaborative partner with you to help you solve your most pressing, most difficult health issues, whether it's weight loss or you just got a unfavorable report from your doctor who told you you may have high blood pressure, or your A1C is high and you're pre-diabetic. I work with people who've had heart events or who are recovering from cancer, athletes. So really anybody who wants to really get to know their bodies and up-level their health and their wellness through, not only through nutrition, but through what I like to call primary foods, and I didn't coin that. That came from one of my teachers at the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. So I like to focus on what makes you tick, right? I look at you from a holistic point of view. It's not just what you eat and what's on your plate. I look at your life, your relationships, your job, your finances. We look at your spirituality, your exercise, so everything that makes up you. One of my teachers said, and I'm sure everyone's heard this, you can eat all the broccoli and kale in the world, but if you're not in a good relationship, or if you get up every day and you hate going to your job, you're not going to be healthy. It doesn't matter what size you are. So that's what sets me apart from other practitioners, is that we look at you from a holistic standpoint. Why am I different than other coaches? So you could probably, Google health coach and 10,000 will show up like within a 10-mile radius. And this is true. You have people who do these, juice fasts or these cookie diets, and they lose a substantial amount of weight, and all of a sudden they call themselves a coach. Or they do a training at a gym and they lose weight and they call themselves a coach. I support a lot of support for everybody, but when you're dealing with someone's health and wellness, you really need to understand not only what makes their body tick, but their emotional state. Like what drives them to eat, because we're very fragile. So that is why over the pandemic, I used the time really wisely, and I became a board certified. And what that does, it really up levels my coaching, and I come to you with master level coaching. Some of the things that I work with is a big advocate of whole food plant-based diets, which is not veganism. There's a difference, but I help you transition to a whole food plant-based diet. Plants have amazing medicinal properties. Plants really help heal. I help people with emotional eating. I help people with hormones. I'm certified in hormone health. A big thing of mine is quitting sugar, helping people and working with them and keeping them accountable and basically supporting them to detox from sugar, which science says is like detoxing from a lot of illicit drugs because it hits the same part of the brain. I'll help you with your digestive health. I do meal planning, menu planning. I do some plant-based cooking, but mostly I'm a really big support for you. I also go into your houses and I can work with your family because it's really important to have everybody on board when you're trying to make lifestyle changes. This is my passion. My passion is to help people empower themselves, give people the tools to create the healthy habits, to create mindset, to create the awareness around what they eat, how they eat, why they eat. It's really powerful. It's really powerful when you see someone who you help them become the expert of their own bodies and you watch them like flourish. The way that I coach, I empower you to really take charge of your health. Working with me and the way I coach is really a doorway to liberation. It's a liberation from that treadmill of yo-yo dieting that we've been on, of weight obsession, of really trying to shut out what the media and what culture sells us, because what they're selling us is false, right? So we basically start with like love, like how do you love yourself and what can you do to become in control of your own life and your own body and really living in a happy, healthy body regardless of the shape and size. And that will help you live your best life in all aspects of your life because it just rolls over, it spills over when you're feeling really amazing and wonderful about yourself. So, how did I get here? So, getting here is a really interesting story. So, I am a child of the 80s. I grew up in a family that the messaging was, and I'm sure it's no different than a lot of the messaging that a lot of our listeners and viewers have heard growing up. So the messaging was, go find a husband, get married, look beautiful, have that perfect life, have those kids, take care of the home, and that will make you fulfilled. This is your job, right? This is the messaging. In fact, my grandmother, she had, I think we have 6 granddaughters and 1 grandson. She used to like sit and like hold court and talk to us and tell us, why do you want to be a doctor when you can marry a doctor? And that was my path. I wanted to go to medical school. I wanted to be a doctor. But they got in my head that this wasn't something I needed to do. Right? I didn't need to be a doctor. Go to college and find a doctor. My family had this great lucrative business, and I really wanted to go into the family business. It was 4 generations old, and I thought that was initially, before I decided I wanted to go to medical school, where I wanted to be. But every time I went to work with my father and my brother was able to go into the factory, learn how the business run, and I was only allowed to answer the phones and collate invoices. So the messaging was like definitely women's roles and men's roles. They're very separate. So I went to college and I still had that messaging. So I quickly gave up my major of biological science and I began to look for a husband. And I went from one boyfriend to another boyfriend to another boyfriend my whole life. A lot of effort, a lot of energy was put into this goal, right? No one ever told me that I could do anything I wanted, that I could be anything that I wanted. So I got married, I had a child, got divorced, no surprise. I got married again. I had 2 beautiful children, that's 3 daughters, got divorced again, no surprise. But within that second marriage, it was awful. I mean, there were good times, but it wasn't a good marriage. My ex did something wrong, and he went to prison, and I was left with 3 kids to try to figure out what I was going to do. So I took my kids and I moved down to Florida to try to create a new life for them. within several months of moving down to Florida, even though I was deemed an innocent spouse, I had nothing to do with it. The government came after my home, which was my home, and connected it to what he did, right, to his missteps. So I fought the government for 2 years. I lost my home. I lost my assets. Basically, it was like, we win, you lose, get out. I had initially no place to go. My husband, I wasn't married, and I had to take care of these kids. So found a place to live, completely shell-shocked. I had kids. I had one kid that didn't want to go to school anymore because of what was happening with her dad, who struggled greatly. I had a younger child, and I had an older one in college that I couldn't help support anymore. So it was really difficult, but I knew exactly what to do. I was going to do what my grandmother told me to do, go find a husband. So that's what I'd been doing. I dated, I can't even tell you how many men I dated because that was my full-time job. My full-time job was to find a man to take care of me, to find that white knight to take care of me and my kids, because I was convinced that I was incapable of doing this for myself. So 2016 rolled around, and I had just ended a relationship that intuitively I knew felt really wrong. There was something wrong with this person.
I have
But
Shay on hold.
I pushed it aside for a little bit. I have a call? Oh, should we? Let's take the call, and then I'll get back to my story. Hey, Shay, how are you? Thanks for calling in.
I know. Thanks so much for taking my call. Your story has just been so inspirational for
Thank you.
myself, and I'm sure so many other women are so inspired by you.
Thank you, Shay.
Yes, you're so welcome. And
So what's your question, Shay?
Yeah, being that you have so much experience with the nutrition, what I'm really wondering is there's kind of like so much conflicting information right now that it's hard to know what and how to eat. So I'm wondering, is there kind of like the best diet that you recommend?
Oh, that's a really good question. I get that question all of the time. There are so many different diets. But the bottom line is we're individuals, and one diet does not fit all. Something that works for me is not going to work for you. It's not what works for you is not going to work for your mother. So we're all individuals based on our genetics, our lifestyle. So there is no one diet that fits all. So the way that I like to work with clients is we kind of see what works for them. First, we eliminate all of the inflammatory foods, the sugar, the alcohol, the coffee, and then, and the dairy. Initially, I hear chatter in the background here. It doesn't mean you have to get rid of it forever, but we eliminate it. We get you to a place where you're really starting to feel good. And then we start to add in foods to see what feels good for you. There are certain foods, obviously, that do not promote great health, and those are the ones that really should either be eliminated or minimized. But, finding what works for each person is really how I address it. So to answer your question, there is no one perfect diet, right? It's what works for you and your needs and your own health and gives you the best quality of life.
Okay. Thank you so much for answering that.
You're welcome.
I have another question. What is your point of view when it comes to like intermittent fasting?
Oh, good question too. So I believe in intermittent fasting to a degree. I definitely follow the finish eating by 8 p.m. and don't really eat before 8 a.m. because it really gives your body time to digest, to burn off what you've eaten during the day. If you could push it to, a 14-hour fast, in my opinion, I think that's good also. And if you could get a workout in before you actually break your fast, you're tapping into your fat stores. So if you would eat before you work out, like a lot of people have a banana or whatever, you're burning off the banana, you're burning off the sugar. But if you eat in a if you exercise in a fasting state, you're actually burning off your fat. And that's where we want to go. And that's how it helps us lose weight, is by, burning our body fat. So I think intermittent fasting is good. And then, as long as you're also during your feeding hours, you're eating a really well-balanced, whole food diet with a lot of nutrients, and then you should be really great and feel good. Okay. Shay, thanks for calling.
Well, really cool. Thank you so much.
Oh, hey, Rose. How are you tonight? Thanks for calling in.
I'm good. By the way, you look amazing. You sound amazing.
Oh, thank you. I'm a fan club.
You do have a fan club, so your story is so empowering, right? I love to hear you talk about self-empowerment, and so my question is around empowerment, and empowerment to me is really speaking to listening to your own intuition. Can you speak to that in as it's related to
so
healing unhealthy habits?
Yeah, definitely. So intuition, most of us ignore it, right? When you feel those butterflies or something in your body that tells you that something's not right, it is. And it's important to listen to. So when it comes to intuition and nutrition, listening to your body is so important, because your body knows exactly what you need to eat. Your body knows which nutrients are missing. It'll send you those signals in cravings, or it'll send you those signals in headaches, or in fatigue. So it's our job to decipher what our body is telling us and make the best choices. So when you eat well, when you have the awareness and the mindfulness about what you're eating and the choices you're making, you'll know exactly how to feed your body when it intuitively tells you, okay, well, I'm craving, cookies or banana, or brownies or whatever. Your body's really not craving cookies and brownies, right? Your body is craving something sweet, or you had a lot of carbs during the day, so your blood sugar is dropping, so you want more. So it's up to us to really become experts in our own bodies, and we generally give that power away to the diet companies and doctors and other people who tell us how to eat and where to eat and what to eat, like influencers. So so tapping into your own power and your own belief that you know what's best for your body. Good. Did we lose you, Rose?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
Here. I'm actually watching you at the same time, and you're at the same time or not in sync. So one other question, if I can. Can I get another question?
Sure.
So do you have any upcoming events?
Oh, I do. So a couple of things I want to invite people to. So first of all, I have this amazing group on Facebook. It's called The Well Nourished Woman. This one is for women. Sorry, guys. I do a lot of work with men, but this group is specifically for women. The other thing, which has just been birthed, and I'm so excited about it, is that myself and 4 other amazing empowered women healers in the area, we are having a retreat on beautiful Stewart Island. We have this incredible house between the ocean and the river. The retreat's going to be October 24th through 30th. And we're going to be doing yoga and meditation and breath work, and really helping the participants detox their bodies, detox their minds, detox limiting beliefs, really have them leave there feeling so empowered to really take control of their lives and their bodies. So to find out about the retreat, you can message me on Instagram, which is Rebecca_Kastin, Kastin. And the website, which just launched today, is, I think it's Rose's Soulful Journey, something like that. But it literally just launched, and I can't remember the name. But you guys can reach me either on my website, Rebecca Caston Coaching. Find me on Facebook under Rebecca Caston, or on Instagram, Rebecca_Caston, and I can give you all the information about the retreat. Do you have any other questions, Rose?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, we have
Thank
a
you, Lo.
question. Oh, you're welcome. We have a question from our studio. My 5-day reset. My 5-day reset is for everybody. So it's my gift to you. I would love everyone to jump onto my website, RebeccaCastonCoaching.com. On there is my 5-day reset. It is free. It is 5 days of whole food nutrition. It will teach you how to remove the inflammatory foods, the sugar and the gluten and foods like that. It's full of amazing recipes, a shopping list, meal planning, tips and tricks to really start to feel better in your body. What's amazing about this reset is it's all whole food based. It's not, you're not going to drink juices for 5 days. My experience with the reset is within the 5 days, my women have lost 3 to 5 pounds, my men have lost 6 to 7 pounds. And that's because the initial weight that we're carrying is inflammation. So once you kind of remove the inflammation, you'll start to see results. Also on my website, I have a ton of freebies. I have a million workbooks, recipe books, things for heart health. So I invite everybody to jump on over to my website, RebeccaCastonCoaching.com, and pick up any information you want. I also love to get to know you. So I offer a free 30-minute discovery call, exploratory call. You can schedule that with me through my website or on Instagram. Or on Facebook, and I would love to talk to you and see how I can help support you in your goals. We have a couple of minutes, so just to kind of wrap up, didn't finish telling my story, but I may have to come back and do that. But I basically reinvented myself. I had 3 daughters. I knew that I needed to get my act together. I needed to fix my health. I need to get myself into the right mindset, and I needed to find a career that I was really passionate about, and this is what I'm passionate about. And I took this, and I'm become an amazing role model for my girls, which was really the most important thing to me, because they see what an empowered woman can be. And it's just grown. My business has grown, and I am so happy to be able to share it with everybody. So please reach out and let me know how I can help you. So, and I think we're about out of time. So thank you for joining me on Tell Us Your Biz. Have a good night, and thank you.
This has been Tell Us Your Business, where a special guest comes on every week and tells us what they do. All shows can be seen on amp2.tv, and if you wish to be a guest, call 866-224-5422 and tell us about your business. That's 866-224-5422. This has been an amp2.tv